Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be assembling a new journal. I kind of went back and forth on this, and just to kind of give you a little scoop of what this journal is all about is, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to be doing a retreat, and so it's in Kansas, and I wanted to create a journal because, for one, I have never been north of like the Dallas area. I'm in Texas, so I'm never north of the Dallas area, which there's Oklahoma, Kansas. So I'm going to be seeing a lot of new countryside, which I'm really excited about. And then also to document the retreat. Now, in the past, I still include it in my creative daily journal because it is what I'm doing daily. But this is kind of considered for me like a road trip, and so I want to make a journal all on its own. So with that being said, and I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag. If anybody's coming to the retreat, I'm going to be giving away, I'm going to have these journals as something they can play with and use and paint, etc. on. And so, but I wanted to show you guys, I wanted to, one, get mine together so that I have it for the trip, and then also show you guys how to assemble a different journal. This is one of the most simplest journals to put together, and I used to do, I love, for one, if you haven't realized, I love creating journals, and I do little golden books for Christmas typically, and last year I did use a composition book, but this is kind of the same concept of using a little golden book. So let's get started on how I put it together. This one has just a little bit of insides because I want everyone to create their own, but I want to give them some fun things to start off with. So in this, for this series, for this particular journal, I'm using a Reader's Digest. You can find these are like typically you can get them at thrift stores. I know you can get them off eBay, usually in a lot. That's what I typically look for, but they're great journals. I mean, they have like a sturdy cover. My daughter went through and ripped out the insides, which you save the insides because those can be used for journaling, putting inside your journal. So you're not going to waste it. You're going to keep that, with your stash, but you're going to be making, but what we're going to be doing is using the cover. So you could do one or two things. You could create the cover like I'm doing the rings, which I think is just you can add and take away as you feel like it, which I love that concept. Or you could create signatures, which are like traveler's notebooks, or you could find traveler's notebooks that fit this size, or make your own, because I don't know if I have any even that fit this size, and put them in there and stitch them in. So, which I think I've done a video on that, but today we're just doing the rings. So, so this is actually one that I've had, oh my gosh, forever, because I don't know if I have it handy. I did one. I used to do a workshop with Chanel. Oh, here we go. Chanel, she's a scrapbooker, and we did something called Learn Something New Every Day. And this is one that I had put together. Oh wow, this has been like 2012, you guys. So, yeah, it's been a while, but I used 3 rings for this one. And as you can see, it's just, lots of stuff in there. What's interesting about this one, let's see here, this may be a different one. Oh, September 13th, the leaves are starting to change. Okay. Oh yeah, I had so much fun making these. But basically it was to learn something new every day, and so you wrote in there just about different things that you just picked one thing that you learned that day. But so yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of look at this cute little charm, little football. My son used to play football. I will not forget, which is 9/11. So yeah, so you kind of get the idea of how I created this journal as far as like putting the rings in. But I bought me this off of Amazon for $6, and it is handy dandy. So basically I don't have to worry about like lining my pages up and punching each one, because that's what I did. Or you have a 3-hole punch, but this one will actually punch these really thick books. I used to use my crocodile punch, but I use this now. So I just want to make sure I have it kind of lined up straight here. And then what's handy about this is once you cut your pages down, you just use this to stick them in, and you're not having to like eyeball it with a single hole punch. Or I'm just kind of making sure this is center, because you have your little guide here that clicks into place, and then that way you know all your pages are going to look. Let me just pick that up, make sure that looks pretty centered. Ta-da! Make sure it's flush to the inside. You do your back cover. And that way, ta-da, it's the same size, and then you can just keep it at your measurement, and then come in and add your pages, and you're not having to, like I said, measure out each one. Okay, so then I'm going to put in my eyelet. This is totally optional, you guys. And to be honest with you, my eyelets are a little small for this project, and I think that's why they gave me these, is to put on the back side, but I am not coordinated enough with my hole punch to make that successful. So I think if I squish it down hard enough, I've been able to make sure that they stick. So I'm just going to go in here. And squish as hard as I can, and punch it into place. See, now if I push around on it like I just did, I'm loosening it up. My eyelets, I wish I would have got a little bit bigger. But like I said, this is an optional thing you don't have to do, and you could be a little more conscious of what size you'll need, because I didn't realize that using this 2-hole punch, your eyelets are a little bit, your holes are a little bit bigger than if you were to use this crocodile. But yeah, holding into place. But it just looks nice finished, doesn't it? And I got these eyelets. I tell you, Amazon has all the things, you guys. Because, you know, if you were to go, and I went and bought some eyelets from Hobby Lobby, and they were in the sewing department, because I really didn't see any in the crafting department, and they're really big. I think they come in different sizes, but I was able to measure what I needed. I think these are like 3/16 or something. Okay. And look at all of them we got. Alright, so we have our eyelets in. And then what I want to do is paint just a little cover, because this is called Autumn Rainbow, and I do have some of my binding clips that we're going to add. binding rings. These are also off of Hobby Lobby. And since it is autumn rainbow, I'm going to be doing a rainbow on the front. That doesn't mean I can't add more things, but I'm literally going to just add a rainbow. I'm putting gesso down first. Gesso, gesso, I shouldn't. People make fun of the way I say it. I think I say gesso and I think it's gesso, but this is just, I wanted to put like kind of an autumn color rainbow on here, but I just want to put this down to kind of prep the surface a little bit. And I think what would have been, I went back and forth over like doing a collage, but I really want to see, I want to keep this cover where I can see it because I think it's so pretty. And actually, I don't know if I'm just going to pour this paint out. I think I can just grab it from the inside. My paintbrushes. I'm almost out of that, but oops, lost my paintbrush on here. Let's just use another one. I was wondering why I saw all my paintbrushes have like these cute little mermaid ones I got. They had I noticed that they all have like all this white stuff at the top, and I was like, what is that? And now I know it's the it's using gesso. And I have not played with my acrylic paints in a while. I've been using a lot of watercolor and gouache. So this is really, really thick. Kind of like the adding of the white in it. It kind of gives it like a more of a texture-y look. My poor acrylic paints are like, you've abandoned us. I need to play with them a little bit more. I used to do completely all acrylic. And then I was introduced to like gouache, and it's just been like, I still plan on doing a little segment on me. I have a sketch out in my journal. Let's see here, yellow and then pink, or pink and then yellow. I think yellow then pink. And I just picked some colors that were autumn colors, but you know I have to have pink in the mix. And you could come and do another layer. This is going to take a little bit of drying time. Oh, it's so cute. Let's see, where's that yellow at? I'm going to add just a little bit more yellow. So I think what I'm going to do is let this dry, and then I'll come back in another video and we can like add the insides to it. because I do want this to be a traveling journal that I can add bits and pieces to on the trip. And I know when I was putting this together in my head, I started thinking, what about your trip this summer to New York and DC? Where's that journal? I have that on my radar still, you guys. I need a whole like couple weeks to work on it, but I have everything ready to go. I just need to bite the bullet and sit down, but it probably won't be until the new year. But definitely have to make it a priority, because if not, I don't want it to just me to forget. Because we still laugh about some of the things that happened on that trip. Me and my friend, if you haven't heard, I went to New York with my daughter and my best friend. It was actually a school function. Anyway, it was hilarious. We had the best time. Okay, so and it was funny. I guess spending a whole week with me, people realize like just different things. And she's like, and she still laughs at this. She's like, you just can't help but be distracted and late for everything. Oh goodness. I'm a very curious person and like to look at and we were always behind or last or getting like in trouble because we wouldn't be up with the crowd, and it's not like we weren't, it was just I want to look at things. Okay, how simple is that? Autumn rainbow, here we come. Alright you guys, I'm gonna let this dry and put the rings on, and then, well actually I'll wait to put the rings on because we're gonna come in and add different papers, so we'll do that next in the next video, just so it's not as long and this gives us time to dry. So yeah, alright, we'll see you then. Y'all have a super sparkly day. Bye bye.